opportunity. Then if I go for an electrical drive, so I hope you are all aware of that a BLDC motor, induction motor drive. So these are peculiar motors, and frequently we are talking about an electric vehicle technology along with the power converters. So we have a lot of opportunities, and in fact, challenges also there. So to overcome the challenges, we have to look into the opportunities towards power converters. So power converters is able to drive an electric vehicle. So in turn, which drive such load. So a lot of opportunities towards in power converters. Take as then opportunities towards power controllers. So if we are using BLDC motors, power converters also major role along with the power converters. So next we move to an important battery technology. So these are all the opportunities towards an electric vehicle as a whole. So lot of opportunities in a framework, design of converters, design of controllers. Then main system is the battery vehicle system, that is the battery technology. So a lot of opportunities in these core areas towards an EV framework, EV technology. So what is the role of power converters as a whole? So each and every point, if you take as a framework of electric vehicle, you need a power converters. Then if you want to drive an electric vehicle, you need is a power converter. So each and every framework, starting from a framework to a mild, that is the conversion, and as a whole, the power converters plays a major role. Then we move to challenges. It's somewhat towards uh, increasing a frequency. Normally, they have a reduction of a size, but not in all cases. So, in a certain cases, it acts as a vice versa process. So, that is one of the main challenges. Normally, while designing a high frequency converter, what a core engineer, what we are doing in the sense, if you are increasing a frequency as a whole, automatically the raise of the size of passive components like inductor, like the transformer, what this size maybe get reduced, but it not in all ways. So this is one of the main challenges. Then if the size of a passive component such as depends upon input and output frequency, so it is very important. So not only alone switching frequency, so it depends upon input and output frequency also. So particularly switching frequency not affect the passive components, not always. So it's one of the main challenges. So the core engineers are not able to predict how can we reduce the size of it. Normally inductor is it plays a major role for a boost operation or buck operation like that. So the design of passive components like inductor plays a major role for a design of each and every converter system, each and every boost stopping system like that. So the size of a passive component not always depends upon a switching frequency. So it may get some confused. So what these are all why we are focusing these challenges and all. So because while designing a converter, power converters for BLDC motor or DC to DC converter, design of inductor plays a major role. So they have a number of IEEE transaction and review literatures are there. So design of inductor plays a major role. So inductor is a boosting of input output voltages like that. So while designing an inductor, so we have to consider certain parameters. So what we have to do while designing converter. So we are making a switching frequency somehow in a 10 hertz to 50 hertz like that. Automatically in some literature what they have written in the sense the size of a passive component is getting reduced, but otherwise in other hand in some other literature, if you're increasing a switching frequency, so automatically it should input and output frequency only decides size of a passive component. So they have some contradiction. So these are all the challenges we are facing. Then we move to a wideband devices, semiconductor devices. If you are increasing a switching frequency, so automatically an EMI is one of the important. Electromagnetic interference is one of the major issue. So that we have to consider, because if we want to reduce, if we want to make a proper shielding with a minimized, optimized cost, and also we are in a position to design a PCB in very careful manner along with an EMI filter. So this wideband device, semiconductor devices also depends upon increasing that is frequency range. So these are some challenges. So moreover, decreasing a passive component volume, so reduces surface, that is heat dissipation area is getting reduced. So these are all some root cause to generate, to create, not generate, to develop high power density converters. So these are all challenges we are posing, we are focusing in power designing a power converters. So what is e-mobility? So normally e-mobility it represents a powertrain, electric powertrain technology with an information technology, communication technology, information and communication technologies combinedly called as an e-mobility. So why we have to focus on e-mobility? So nowadays we are in a way of conversion to an IC engine to an electric, whether it is an induction motor or a BLDC motor, so simply called as an electric vehicle. So reducing greenhouse emission and also in order to make a pollution-free environment through this e-mobility. So normally the transport, that is transport sector accounts for 80% of total consumption in India. So now the e-mobility plays a major role. A lot of developments and a lot of initiatives are taken by an Indian government along with the allied countries. So normally, so it is now in a booming stage. Then why power converters? So normally, irrespective of a load or irrespective of a source side, the power converter plays a major role. So we have to focus both the source and the load. So whatever may be a source, whatever may be a load. So we have to focus both the load and the source and the load. So based on that, we have to select a converter. So not only for an electric vehicle, so not only for an e-mobility. So generally we have to focus load and source side while designing a converter. So while designing a converter, either the source may be from a renewable energy or the source may be from a grid connected, or here the source may is considered as a battery. So now solar PV operated vehicle is in also in a designing stage and almost in Mahindra they are moving a testing stage and all. So solar panels are fixed on the top of a vehicle. So in such a cases, morning's Prasad sir clearly explained about a reconfiguration of a PV panel along with the DC to DC converter. So in such a converter, the role of power converters is vital. It's a vital role. So while interfacing renewable resources with a BLDC motor, so power converters plays a major role. While designing a power converters as a core engineer, we have to look into what type of sources we are selecting. So before selecting to a type of a switches or type of a converter, so type of converter in the sense whether it may be an AC to DC or DC to DC or whatever may be a converter. Of course, as a core engineer, we are very familiar about types of converters and all. So before selecting to a converters, that is before selecting to a type of converter, we have to choose what type of load we are, what type of source we are using, what type of load we are going to apply. So after that only we can select the power converters. So after the selection of the power converters, obviously we can easily select a type of controller, whether it may be an a Spotron based FPGA controller or it may be a DSP based TMS processor, or simply we go for a PIC controller based upon peripherals and a port requirement and all. So power converters, it occupies the heart of the electric vehicle. So based upon a source, so what type of source we are using, what type of load, that is load in the sense here motor. Of course, the shaft connected to a motor plays a major role, is a vital role. So if you go for a high power component for EVs, so it covers three major section as per my preview. So one is the charging station, another one is converters, another one is charge controllers. So these are all the high power component for EVs. So these three section plays the high power. It needs a high power power semiconductor devices. So starting from a charging station, nowadays they have a different types of charges are available: quick fast charging, too fast charging, and medium very steady charging, like that, or based upon our requirement, based upon timing. So here fast or slow, it depends upon timing. So for that converter plays a major role. Then in the converter also, we are nowadays, there is in a current research trend is going on a silicon carbide based semiconductor material. So it is also in one of the research opportunities towards development of a material from a silicon to a silicon carbide materials. Then of course, after to a charging station, along with the next move to a converters. So converters, it depends what I have told in the previous slide. It depends upon a type of a load, or it be a DC motor or induction motor, whatever, what type of drive we are using. So based on that, we have to look into a type of converters. Then charge controller, it plays a major role in a EV vehicles. So charge controller, it may be a buck operated or it may be a boost operator. So ultimate aim is to make a steady state charging. So the morning section, DC to DC, that is unidirectional and bidirectional charge controller. Prasad has clearly explained about the charge controllers. So these three are the mainly focused high power components requirement of a EV vehicle. So here components in the sense we are focusing about a power converters. So power converter components are a EV train. So based upon a selection of a power semiconductor topology, then we can select what type of switches it is required. So that depends on next category. So first we have to select a converter based upon a source. So source, whether it is from a grid connected. So if it is a grid connected, it needs an adapter. So based on that, we have to design a rectifier circuit and then move to a DC to DC chopper circuit. So if it is directly from a solar PV system, then we no need to go for a rectifier. So directly we go to a DC to DC chopper like that, bidirectional DC to DC converter. There are a number of DC to DC converters are now launched to make ripple free operation. So go for a DC to DC converter side, ripple free is the important parameters. So in a market perspective, the electric motor, batteries, power converters, charging stations. So these are all the four major key point, that is the key areas now the government is focused towards development in year of 2025. So the market value is expected to reach 4.8 billion in the year of 2025. So among that, 1.86 million for batteries and power converters plays a 1.47. So $47 billion. So they have a lot of scope and research opportunities over there in the power electronics sector, particularly for the development of power converters. So power converters is hard to make an electric vehicle. So if I take as a key players, the morning section also, Sir has discussed about key players, both Mahindra, Revo, Tata. So these are all some key players. They are ready to invest their section in India and a number of countries. So if go for a classification based upon the propulsion, so it is battery operated electric vehicle, a plug-in electric vehicle, and it goes to fuel cell electric vehicle. So these three are the major classification of an electric vehicle. So whatever may be a classification, each and every type of electric vehicle, it needs a power converters. So upon topology of power converters depends upon a type of power, types of electric vehicle, what type we are using, whether it is a directly battery operated or it may be a plug-in. So if you go for a plug-in, an adapter act as a power converter, or it may be act as a charge controller. Then again, charging vehicles, they have a number of vehicles now launching, that is passenger vehicle, commercial vehicle, and starting from a two-wheeler, now move to a passenger, and the trucks are also now designing. So government also take more initiative to make a clean environment, that is a green environment. So based upon that is a assessment of environmental concern and also the rise in fuel cost. Now we are about aware about fuel cost of fossil fuels. So in order to make a pollution free clean environment and all to make to minimize the cost and also make an economical, so we are in a wedge to move towards the right time to move towards an electric vehicle. So these power converters in an electric vehicle, the power converters is a major part. So go for a EV, that is the development of a EV from that is from IC engine sales to EV sales. So it is increasing nowadays, starting from 2017. So from starting from a 1% to now it moves towards 54%. So slowly it's the replacement of IC engines, except the framework and also brake shoe that are all in a conventional system only. So except an IC engine and the combustion part, we have to replace with an EV system, that is with the help of an electric drive, which in turn move towards the one converter board. So if we take as a market forecast value of a year of 2025, so there are a number of vendors, they are ready to invest in an Indian market scenario to make so starting from a two-wheeler and auto rickshaw, and then slowly move towards a four-wheeler, that is a car, and then move towards the trucks, now commercial passenger vehicle, and now they are again move towards the trucks. So over 4 million units by 2025, they are make it as an electric vehicle units. So it is a total EV market sales from 2015 to 2027. So it's slowly increasing from BH, that is a battery operated electric vehicle, then plug-in electric vehicle, then fuel cell electric, hybrid electric vehicle, and slowly moving. The percentage is getting increasing. So almost 36% it moves to a hybrid electric vehicle, that is a mild hybrid electric vehicle. So fully hybrid electrical vehicles, its range is 27%. So this picture clearly represents the sales market also get increasing, and a lot of R&D work also go moving towards how to make ripple free, and also a lot of challenges towards the battery technologies are there. So sudden discharge, they have a probability of burst out of a battery. So here battery is a key player. So to make a smooth key player, power converters plays a major role. So a lot of R&Ds are moved towards the development of a battery. So lithium. So what is next to a lithium ion? How we can replace silicon from silicon materials to a silicon carbide material. So a lot of R&D works are going towards the power converters and battery technology. So these are all some key players, what they are doing. Electric car, ultra electric bus. So like that, they are doing their own business in Indian market scenario by investing millions and millions of amounts. So each and every key players, they are stubborn with their power converters and also drives. So Tesla using the induction motor with a high torque. So BLDC. Each and every key players, they are chosen, and they are developing their own MCU, that is the PCU unit, controller unit, and power converter unit. So they are doing their R&D in terms of reducing that is increasing high torque and a ripple free environment. So go for a DC to DC converter instead of harmonics in a AC system. Ripple is a major factor. So if a ripple, if it increases about 2.5%, automatically the entire battery system is getting collapsed, and also the smooth free, that is the operation of BLDC is also, it is get collapsed. So automatically the lifetime of a battery and also drive is get decreased. So this is one of it is not a challenge, but we have to consider it is one of the main parameters we have to look into it, and we have to rectify it through a certain through R&D works. So this is the estimated powertrain potential with how much they are operating, how much they are allocating for that. So 12% for a power electronic sector, and 39%. So almost we have covered all those things in future, that is in past. Then in future again they are making the reschedule in the terms of instead of 70%, now they are moving to an 85% of battery full pack values. So you go for a part of the electric vehicle, power converters, controller, battery bank, and the electric motor. So in order to make a better performance of an electric drive, that is forward motoring, reverse motoring, speed control, or that is braking, that is on and off, and also in a reverse condition. So in order to make a better performance of electric drive, so a number of power converters now introduced, and also they have a number of power controllers also introduced to make a better performance of converters. So go for a powertrain of a typical plug-in electric vehicle. So starting IC engine, so starting from an IC engine, then move to an alternator, then alternator AC is converted into DC, then stored in a battery. So that is one type, that is an auxiliary to DC converter batteries. So here we have to consider two different technologies, two different what is called, it is two different streams. One it is auxiliary battery, another one is a main battery. So main battery is directly connected to a shaft of, that is wheel shaft, and auxiliary battery is connected to a lighting conditions. So auxiliary battery is stored, that is it gets stored with the help of an alternator. So if they have a hybrid electric vehicle, in a hybrid electric vehicle, so IC engine through an alternator, AC is converted into DC and it is stored in an auxiliary battery. The auxiliary battery, which is used for a lighting of an electric vehicle. Then main battery. So main battery, it is get charged from an onboard charger. So charger, in turn, it may be from an grid, or it may be from a it may be from a charging stations. In turn, it may be from a grid. So now the scenario is getting changed, moving towards renewable energy sector. So the onboard charger is directly, it is connected to a PV system. So here directly through a charge controller, the main battery is getting charged. So for emergency or in terms of a swapping purpose only, we are removing a battery, and it is in turn connected to a grid systems. So then if you are using, I have already told that types of, depends upon a type of motor, we have to select a converter. Suppose if it is an induction motor drive, so we need an inverter. So battery, the DC is converted into AC through an inverter. So this is a general powertrain. If you take any electric vehicle scenario, this powertrain is very common. And move to a battery. So two main important components. So a number of batteries, that is types of batteries, starting from a super capacitor and also fuel cell also, and also these are all the some important components of the storage, energy storage devices. So nowadays what we are using, super capacitor and ultra capacitors are using for instant discharging in order to make a peak load demand. So this is very important parameter. So super capacitors are connected. It acts as an auxiliary battery, not for not for a lighting purpose. It is for a starting purpose. So in order to make a peak load demand, the peak load demand in the sense here to meet a starting torque. So normally if it go for a power system sector, peak load demand, we are calculating a peak load demand. So we are calculating a rating of an each and every section, they are based upon a peak load demand. But here in case of in terms of electric vehicle, peak load demand is depends upon a starting torque. So initially the starting torque is, it needs a high starting torque. So in that time, and sudden discharge of battery entirely collapse the entire system. So in order to make a smooth discharge, we are making a super capacitor or ultra capacitor as a supporting system. So this is a general overview of a battery technology. So next we move to a DC to DC converter. So DC to DC converter is an important parameter. It acts as a charge controller, and also it acts as the main converter for main battery. So auxiliary battery, it also requires a charge controller. So as a whole, as an electric vehicle, without a DC to DC converter, no one can design an electric vehicle, no one can perform an electric vehicle. Then move to an electric traction motor in order to make a smooth drive of a wheel. So vehicle wheels, so it needs an traction motor. So traction motors are directly coupled to a shaft, or in some ventures they are moving to a gearing system before connecting into a shaft. So we have to check that is a pamphlet or whatever it may be for an EV vehicle, whether it is a direct mode or indirect mode. They have one notation is there. So direct mode in the sense, the shaft is directly connected to the motor shaft. If they have any indirect mode in the sense, the shaft is connected to some gearing arrangements and pulley arrangement, then so they have some transmission losses all there. So in a direct mode, the torque is high, but it is not safe. Then charge. charge port and onboard charger, power electronic converter, controller. So these are all the major components of a power that is electric vehicle. So if you take as a types of motor requirement, that is DC series motor, brushless DC motor, PMSM, three-phase induction motor, switched reluctance motor. So each and every vendor based upon their convenience, based upon it, availability of power converters, they have chosen the types of the types of motors available in the market. So normally BLDC motors are using. So if you go for a BLDC motor, one challenge is there. So the development of a power converter system. So it needs a three-way system, and also it needs an inverter mode operation system. So drive, that is a power driver for induction motor, that is a BLDC motor. It is a major challenge. So each and every vendor, they are looking into make a high starting torque with minimum battery requirement. It is ampere hour. To increase an ampere hour, the warranty is still in a research state. So how we can reduce ampere hour, not ampere hour, reduce the battery requirement and also increase the starting torque. So these two are the major requirement of the customer also. So what we are expecting in a single charge, we are expecting a maximum kilometer within a single charge without swapping or without. On another important criteria from our side is, so battery life should be a more. And another again, so it means the vehicle should be a too smooth. And again, it should be a more economical. So we are adding our requirement to make a comfort zone. We are adding more and more features. So whenever we are adding a more and more feature for our comfortness, again still the research is still in a number of opportunities are there for doing a research. So another important point is ripple free output from a converter. So it is one of a challenge. So without making an electromagnetic interference, so we need to design an electromagnetic filters. So if you are making an electromagnetic filters, again power quality issues are important parameter. So lot of research are now going how to mitigate the power quality issues and how to reduce the ripple. So these are all some challenging environment in a power converters. Then 10 main things we have to consider when choosing an electric motor. One is characteristics, vehicle characteristics. It comes to a dynamics of a particular system. So whether it is in a stable state or in an unstable state, what about an external environment condition? When a stability, when it loses its stability, so like that, when it operates in an equilibrium point, when a low torque is equal to a motor torque. So these are all the important parameters in a vehicle characteristics. While designing a vehicle characteristics, as a customer, we are expecting a smooth operation of an electric vehicle without any oscillation. So the oscillation occur only at an unstable condition. When a system is when a drive is in a stable, that is the equilibrium condition, when a low torque is equal to motor torque, automatically the system is in stable condition. When it loses its stability or an equilibrium point, automatically the drives get accelerate or deaccelerate. When a motor torque is greater, accelerate. When a motor torque, low torque is greater, it gets deaccelerate. Then driving cycle. So we have to, as an electrical engineer, as a design engineer, power electronics engineer, so we have to calculate a driving cycle. While calculating a driving cycle, we have to choose a power converters. Then main important thing is what type of configuration we are using, what type of topology we are using, whether it is an electric or hybrid or battery operated. So this is third point is very, very important while selecting a drive. Excuse me. Then maximum speed, maximum torque, maximum power. So these are all the important parameters of a drive system. So we are expecting high speed, we are expecting a maximum torque, so we are expecting a maximum power. So these are all the important parameters we are expecting from a drives. Then battery capacity, we are expecting a for a single charge, we are expecting 200 to 50 kilometers for a single charge. So discharge rate should be a very minimal, like that we are making as a battery capacity and battery voltage. So we have to maintain a constant battery voltage of 12 volt or 24 volt to input to a DC to DC converter. Then we're going to types of electric vehicle. I have clearly mentioned about a brushless BLDC, that is BLDC motor, PSM, induction motor, and SRM. Based upon the requirement, that is based upon a configuration of each and every electric motor, we have to choose a power converters. Then brushless DC motor, DC motor, AC induction motor. So we have to develop a rotating magnetic field in air gap of an induction motor. For that, we have to make a proper converter system. So go for a importance of power converters. It acts as a charge controller, like that. Simply called as a charge controller. So whatever may be a position of a power converters, the name gets different. So simply it controls the fuel. So what we are doing in an IC engine. So while making a more acceleration, the discharge of fuel rate is tied to a spark. So like that. It acts as a charge controller. Simply if you go for a DC to DC converter or whatever may be a system, it acts as a charge controller. So in turn, a charge controller is differs automatically. Shaft that is a torques developed in a shaft system is get changed. So an electric system develops a mechanical system to make a smooth operation. So simply go for before selection of types of converter what we are using. So we have to look into what type of source, what type of load we are using. If a type is AC system, if the input is AC and output requirement also AC, so directly we can go for a matrix converter or we go for AC voltage controller, like that. So almost we are too familiar about this configuration, that is types of power converters. So DC to AC is inverter, AC to AC it is a AC voltage controller, like that of a transformer operation, step up or step down without changing a frequency, or it may be go for a matrix converter, that is cyclo converter or matrix converter, fixed frequency to variable frequency. Then AC to DC, it is a rectifier. So DC to DC, it is a chopper. So within this closed part, we can clearly explain, we can clearly get an idea about the types of power converters, what we have studied, just we can recall it. So based upon a load system, so load we can go for a induction motor drive, or it may be go for a BLDC motor, or simply we can choose a DC motor for better control operation for a low rated vehicle. So whatever may be a load system, so we can choose types of power converter, but the power converter is within the circle alone. So either it may be an inverter, or it may be a rectifier, or it may be a chopper, or it may be a this matrix converter, or it may be a cyclo converter. So apart from this, in this chopper they have a number of configurations, topologies are there, starting from a buck, boost, Chepik, Leo, super late. So there are a number of converters. So they are introducing now, they have a power factor control DC to DC. So a number of converters still in the research stage, they have implemented, tested. And what is the main theme in the sense, go for an AC, we have to reduce the harmonics. To go for a DC, we have to make a ripple free steady state. So that is a very, very important thing. So for making a harmonic free environment, that is simply called as a power quality, mitigate the power quality issues. We are developing optimizing technique, a number of optimizing technique for a power converter, that is for an inverter side. So likewise, a number of techniques also there to mitigate, that is to reduce the ripple in a DC to DC converter. So generally, if I take as a classification, so starting from a power grid to an onboard, so n number of power converters are involving towards to charge the EV battery. Either it may be an onboard system or it may be an offboard system. So it may be a battery operated system. So a number of power converters, but all the power converters are within the circle, within this 4 category alone. So we can make the division, that is subdivision may be different. Types of converter gets different. So instead of inverter, they may go for different names of single phase, full phase. The names get different, multi-level inverter, like that. But inverter it is a DC to AC. So within the circle, within the 4 dotted line within the 4 edges of operations, it comes to a conclusion. Then you go for a power management. This is very, very important type criteria in an EV system. So power management plays a major role. So for making a better power management, so power converters, DC to DC converter or DC to AC converter plays a major role. So if we go for a DC to AC, whether it may be a stepped or sinusoidal. So based upon a requirement, go for an induction motor, it needs a pure sinusoidal. Go for a BLDC motor, it takes as a square pulse like that, stepped wave, trapezoidal. Based upon a requirement, we have to select a power management system. Then another important thing, whether what type of charging it requires. So whether it may be an onboard charger or it may be an offboard charger, or it requires a power that is a fast charging, or it may be a slow charging. So these are all important parameters in a grid management, that is a power management sector. So while making as a power, while developing a smart grid power management sector, so we have to make a proper communication system. It is very, very important, like that of so we have to trace out each and every activities in an onboard panel board. Then only we can manage, this is a problem, this parameter has to be controlled. So likewise we have to make a proper communication system. So generally if you go for a DC to DC converter system, so it acts as a charge controller. So based upon a type, based upon a width of a duty cycle, by making a proper acceleration, the width of a duty cycle is get differ. So by changing a duty cycle mechanism, that is the electric motor drive mechanism gets varied, whether it may be an armature or a field current. So in case of a DC motor, normally we prefer for an armature voltage control for a below rated speed. So here the pedal, when we press an accelerator, automatically the controller pulse get varied. So the here simply technically called as a duty cycle. So whether it may be that is 12 volt operated or it may be a 96 battery system operated. So based upon a percentage of a duty cycle, based upon a switching frequency, output is getting varied. So switching frequency in the first slide, it is one of our important challenging parameter. If a switching frequency get increases, automatically requirement of, that is size of passive components get reduced, but not in all the case. So that is important challenge. If increasing a switching frequency, we have to look into what is the size of a inductor. So inductor plays a major role for a boost chopper. So L into di by dt, that is the voltage across an inductor. It creates an entire boost system from a 12 volt to 48 volt or 48 to 96 volt. So the cells voltage, the voltage the power stored in the cells, that the energy dissipated from a battery cells or get converted into a mechanical energy only through help of a DC to DC chopper, that to a boost chopper. So this is the entire scenario, that is a schematical structure of this EV vehicle. So here a role of power converter acts as a DC to DC converter and also acts as an inverter. So each and every build PMSM, here permanent magnet synchronous motor, each and every PSM, it requires a converter or an inverter. So in order to develop a proper or ripple free environment, so we have to make a DC to DC converter also. So lithium, that is we are using a lithium ion battery. So discharge of our lithium ion battery through a DC to DC converter, simply it is called as a charge controller. Then electronic differentiator directly which is connected to a fuzzy based controller. So and also direct torque control fuzzy based controller also there. So here the main important role is to make a smooth operation of inverter. So we have to design, we have to develop a firing pulse based upon actual scenario. So then only we can make a system more stable. Then types of electric vehicle, the first slide we have mentioned. So fuel based supercapacitor battery, or it may be a hybrid, or it may be a plug-in. So here Fuel cell, it needs a DC to DC converter. Supercapacitor, it's for installing purpose. Ultra capacitor and super capacitors nowadays we're using to make a high, to develop a high starting torque for a particular time period or particular duty cycle. Then battery, it also requires a DC to DC. If you are making a many input single output system, that is MI, many input, many single output, SO. So MISO. So it needs a common DC link system. So each and every DC converters are connected with a DC to DC system. Then we make as a common DC link. Then the DC link is directly connected to a inverter system if a motor is an induction motor. So anyway, if you are making as a many input single output system, it needs one common DC link. From a common DC link, we can operate an inverter for a induction motor drive. So in the bottommost, it represents the discharge of, that is a battery charge, discharge of a battery along with a super capacitor. So fast charging, fast discharging. So these are all controlled by a super capacitor. So you have a number of boost converters. Extended boost converter also plays an important role along with the ultra capacitor. So this is the classification, that is series hybrid electric system, parallel hybrid electric system. So in a series hybrid electric system, so rectifier, then move to a battery bank, then inverter. So they have a series connector. So series in the sense IC engines are connected in series to our electric vehicle. So that is to a battery systems. Parallel in the sense both are operated in a parallel manner. So battery bank, inverter, then traction motor operated in a single stroke operation in a separate track. Then another track, fuel tank, IC engine, transmission. So these operated in a separate system. Excuse me. So next one is a series parallel hybrid powertrain. So we can operate both the series and also in parallel manner. So here they have one dendritic gearbox arrangement. So it sits in a both either we have to operate in a series mode or it may be operated in a parallel mode. So here in the traction motor is get controlled with an inverter. So it operates in a parallel mode. So if it is in series mode, automatically the IC engines are directly connected to a inverter system and through a AC to DC converter. Then if you want to make it as a parallel mode, both the fuel tank and also battery pack are developed their own power and connected in a common DC link through a DC to DC converter. So here DC to DC converter acts as a relay operation. And then we have to make it in a series mode or it may be in a parallel mode. So this is a general block diagram of an electric vehicle. So here the battery banks are connected in a series and parallel manner. That series and parallel manners are get selected by a DC to DC converter, that is the charge controller. So here selection of battery, that is selection of battery bank, series parallel connection. So this comes under the design rating of a battery system. So then the communication, in order to make a better management, better energy management system, so we have to make a proper communication link. So the communication links authenticates a better communication system for a better management. So nowadays PLC based systems also developing for an industrial operation, not for an electric vehicle. So types of power converters. So a number of power converters with a silicon based or silicon carbide based switches are now available. So based on that, we have to make as a power converters, IGBT based or MOSFET based, GTO, MCT, BJT. Then topology, I think we are very clear about a topology, chopper inverter. Then PWM based system, resonant converters plays a major role. So the resonant converters, in order to make a zero, that is ZBS, ZCS, ZCT, ZVT, zero voltage transition, zero current transition. So these are all comes under a resonant operation. In order to make a resonant operation, proper resonant operation, so we have to make a soft switching technique. We have to adapt a soft switching technique for the same. Then electric motor. Then to design an electric motor, we can go for a FEM technology or thermal aspect technology. So these are all some research opportunities towards power converters in an electric vehicle scenario. So general classification of electric, it is a power converters starting from an isolated and non-isolated. It is a major basic major classifications. So conventional interleaved multi-port. So multi-port device in the sense that is from a single input many output, SIMO. So one system is for auxiliary battery, another system is for main battery. So based upon a type, based upon a requirement, we can choose a converter system. That is single input, many output, many input, single output, whatever it may be, based upon a requirement. Before that, we have to calculate, we have to make whether a system required isolate, that is auxiliary battery or not. So as a design engineer, so we have to get a more confirmation about types of battery, what type of battery we are using, like that we have to make a proper classification. Then if go for an isolated, jet source inverter plays a major role nowadays. So without using a DC to DC converter, without using a chopper system, so it go for a, suppose we are using induction motor drive for a electric drive for EV, it doesn't require DC to DC and inverter. It's a combination of both. It does by a jet source inverter now in a developing stage and also in research stage. So these are types of power converter. So based upon a connection, so we can classify whether it may be a series or parallel, it may be a hybrid, or whether it may be super capacitor based. In a super capacitor, the yellow indicates the super capacitor. The super capacitor to make a, to develop high starting torque. I already mentioned instead of this, to make a high starting torque like that of a peak load demand management. So if it requires, we have to develop a own system. It's a separate system, super capacitor. So if you are adding a single system, it needs a power converter, simply called as a charge controller. So super capacitor is connected series to a parallel to a battery converter. So in order to share their power load demand. Then section F, it indicates battery bank, supercapacitor and fuel cell. So this is a hybrid system. So these three sections are directly connected to a common DC link for inverter system. Then we move to an induction motor. So as an electrical engineer, as a power electronics engineer, we can do a wonder. So we can make a number of system in a series parallel manner, but we have to make it as a, whether a system is ripple free or not. If you are going for a DC to DC system, so we have to get a more clarification about a ripple free environment for DC to DC and harmonic free environment for a DC to AC system. So this is a representation for a high frequency converter system. So if it is connected to a PV module as an input side, so high step up DC converter is required for a high conversion. So in order to reduce the size of a passive component. So in order to reduce the size of a passive component, we are using a high frequency converters. High frequency converters plays a major role. So in order to reduce the high, it is the size of a passive component, high frequency converters are used nowadays. So high frequency converters also develop a high voltage system of 480 volt, then we directly connected to an inverter system. So here, along with the gearing arrangement system, so it's a entirely, this system clearly represents from a power developing stage to how it is delivers to a shaft. So from starting from a power, that is energy and power sources, whether it may be a battery or it may be a renewable, or through an adapter we can store to a battery. Then converters. So efficiency is efficiency into DC. Then drive, variable frequency drive, either it may be a DC drive or go for a BLDC motor drive. Then efficiencies get calculated. So transmission from Power converter to an electric drive, they have a losses, that is called as the converter losses. Source to converter, they have a losses during a discharge stage. Suppose if a power system is considered as a battery, so they have a discharge losses. Then from electric motor to a shaft, they have an electric motor loss. Then from a shaft to a drive or through some gearing arrangement, I have already mentioned, we can't directly connect a shaft of electric motor to a load. So it requires one gearing arrangement. So they have one loss. So we have to, while designing a system, while designing an electric vehicle, starting from a source to load, so we have to calculate efficiency, that is losses in a source, losses in a converter, losses in a variable frequency drive, losses in electric motor, losses in a transmission. So this is from power from source to load. While if you are developing a regenerative braking, nowadays all the vendors, they are developing a system with a regenerative braking. So while developing a regenerative braking, again a vice versa process, starting from a wheel shaft to a power system or a battery. So again we have to consider all those things. So one is to develop a mechanical energy, another one is to develop an electrical energy. So both the side we have an electrical engineer, as a core engineer we have to calculate efficiency of a particular system. So converter hybridization. So I have already told that how we have to make a common system, common DC link. So we can't make a different DC to DC, different drive system for each and every operation. So drive system is single, that is from a main battery. Auxiliary battery, that is for lighting system. Main battery is for shaft wheel. So batteries, that is power or energy stored in a battery, is only from a single DC link. Suppose we are operating an inverter, we need a single DC link for an inverter. We can't make a three different inverter like that. It is not possible in an electric vehicle. That is called as an hybridization. So hybridization in the sense, we can make a hybrid of, that is battery, PV module, ultra capacitor, super capacitor, and another side is from wind energy, the right hand side. Or if you need a DC engine, that is a diesel engine, DC gen system. So whatever it may be, so it needs a common hybrid, that is common DC link or common AC system. So this is commonly called as an hybridization. So here optimizing technique plays a major role for an energy management. So it's not a simple task. So we have to make all the things with a ripple-free environment. Suppose if we are going for a AC system, so we have to develop a common frequency for all. So that is next to move towards the bidirectional converter and bidirectional, that is DC to DC, starting from an ultra capacitor plug-in electric vehicle, an isolated DC to DC. So these are all the topologies available to make a ripple-free DC to DC converter system. So nowadays the research opportunities are moving towards a bidirectional T-type converters also. So a number of converters are available. So bidirectional T-type converter also plays a major role. So is a major classification of a DC to DC allowed. The linear, part switching and soft switching. So soft switching, I have already mentioned about zero voltage switching, current switching. So in addition to that, zero voltage transition, zero current transition also available. So the important thing or the main thing of doing all those things is to make a ripple-free environment. So based upon output of a resonant converter, we have to select a proper drive system to convert an electrical power to a mechanical power. So market capitalization of silicon carbide based devices. So nowadays we are like slightly shifting from silicon to silicon carbide materials. So they have an efficiency of, that is, they have an increment a year of 2022 moving towards rail power factor control power supply unit, wind PV, UPS system, motor drive system. So they have a number of opportunities. Go for a PV carbide, carbon silicon carbide materials. There's almost to a 40 percentage from a 28 percentage. It moves to a 40 percentage. So cumulative aggregate value. So the year of 2026, a market scenario of carbide SI silicon carbide material, it moves to almost $64 billion. That is that much investment they are doing for e-mobility. So compound annual rate can be calculated V final by V beginning along with 1 by T. So T represents a time in a year. So like by this only, the year of 2019 to 2024, CAGR value is over 38%, moving towards a charging station along with the silicon carbide material. So these are characteristics, that is types of charge storage devices using silicon carbide materials and also with the battery materials. So characteristics, super capacitors, it has a greater than 4,000 so power density. So for that only we are making a high power density power converters, or it makes it clear challenges towards the design of power converters. So it's a simple DC to DC converter from a battery to an electric vehicle. So based upon operation of a duty cycle, so we can operate. MOSFET is a self-commutated device. Normally MOSFET is preferred to make this proper DC to DC converters. In order to operate a system in a 4-quadrant, so this is a basic phenomena. So forward motoring, forward braking, reverse motoring, reverse braking. In order to make a regenerative braking, also nowadays we are included in this section. So DC to DC converter operated through a 4-quadrant mode to make a power from source to load and also load to source. So electric energy is converted into mechanical power in the first 2 quadrants, and the 3rd quadrant is a reverse motoring. Sorry, in the reverse motoring also the electric power is converted into mechanical power with a negative torque. So power is positive. So in first and 3rd quadrant, it is in a power is from source to load. In the 2nd and 4th quadrant, the power is from load to source. So is a phase shift modulation topology for an onboard battery charger circuit. So it needs a high frequency transformer. So it has a high frequency transformer with a turns ratio N is to N1 into N1 is to N2, and also LC or LLC resonant converters. We are using some tanks arrangement. So these are all the research nowadays going in the power converter sector. Then high frequency rectifier for fast charging systems. So we are focusing now high frequency rectifier like that of an inverter. So solid state technology is inbuilt, that is incorporated in a input side, that is from a vehicle, high frequency rectifier, voltage gain and compensation network. So in that it requires a high frequency solid state technology. So here the role of power converters from input and also from an output side. Then inductive wireless power transfer technology for onboard charger. So these are also, instead of the solid state transformer is now replaced with the wireless power transfer technology, the capacitor concept. So here the power is transferred from an input side to an output, that is V in to V out. So in between they have a solid state transformer, or it may be through a wireless transmission. So capacitive wireless power transmission using plate coupled through electric field. Here the vehicle, there is no wire connection. So like that of that is like that of a levitation concept. That is they have without wire power is inductive power is get charged like that. And wireless charging use of a power converters. That is a high frequency components or incorporated or developed to make a fast charging technology. The two significant challenges when designing a power converter is high power transfer, density at high frequency. So this is very, very important. While making the safety requirement is very, very essential. So that is one of the important challenge. Maintaining effective power transfer even as coupled as a relative position changes. So this is also an important challenge while designing a wireless charging through a power converters. Next one is the interleaved. So a number of power converters are now in a developing stage to make a ripple-free environment, or also to make a ripple-free environment for an inverter. So one of the important type is it has a efficiency, that is interleaved DC to DC chopper. It has an efficiency of 92% for a load of 30 kilowatt. The L and C value plays a major role. The L and C value are calculated using a formula of V by F, N and IL. Then if I take as auxiliary battery and a main battery, it needs a separate system. So it has two switches, S1 and S2. So we have to make a parallel operation of both the system if required, or in some cases in a daytime does not require a lighting operation of the headlight system is not required. Likewise, auxiliary batteries are get charged. But anyway, the system is designed. One system is with a bidirectional switch, that is for main battery. So main battery is connected with a bidirectional converter system. Another system is for unidirectional. In some cases, both are bidirectional. Both the batteries are get charged during regenerative braking. In some cases, auxiliary battery is connected to a regenerative braking system. Main batteries get isolated. It gets charged only through a source. Either it may be an onboard charger or it may be an offboard charging. So another one is resonant circuit. So resonant circuit is designed with the help of LNC component. So the word resonant comes from LNC. So passive components. So the efficiency is somewhat greater when compared to a superlift or interleaved. It reduces the size and weight of a converter, but challenge is high heat sink is large heat sink is required. So the L and C value, that is a resonant L and C are calculated with the given formula. Another one is a full bridge DC to DC converter. So it has an efficiency of 91.5% for 30 kilowatt. So 30 kilowatt load taken as a case study. While developing a 30 kilowatt load, so what will be an efficiency, what will be a duty cycle? So it's just an case study. So here full bridge in the sense, in the input side they have a DC 4-quadrant DC to DC. So it develops a high frequency system as for a isolation transformer. Then DC is a converter in AC is converted to DC through help of rectifier. Then it is connected to an inverter for a drive system. Then isolated resonant converter, isolated zero voltage switching. So it has a resonant component both the input side, and they have a transformer 1:n ratio. So it has an efficiency of 91.5% as a efficiency. Then sinusoidal amplitude high voltage bus converter. So this system is to make a common AC link system for inverter operation if it is in an induction motor drive. So if you are making a hybrid system for a AC link, that is a AC link system, so we make as a common as parallel operation. So for that only the system is more common. It's not suitable for high frequency high power applications. So if we require high power density, we are using high power density power components. So in order to make a high power density system, so we can make a parallel operation of both like that of a multi-level inverter. If you are using a cascaded H-bridge inverter as a multi-level, so the same topology we are using, same connection, but here we are making as a high frequency solid state transformer we are using to make ripple free environment. Then multi-device interleaved DC to DC bidirectional converters. So this converter, even though it has a high starting torque, but the requirement of switch component is very high. So like that of a cyclo converter in an AC to AC system. So it's not suitable for a high power applications. So multi-device interleaved DC to DC. So it's a specification. So overall, that is summary of all those things coming from the bridge, the zero voltage switching, then multi-port. So each and every devices they have their own input and output characteristics, own passive components device rating, and in output voltage ripple. It's a very important parameter. Then power density in power paired DC to DC devices. So starting from a low power to a silicon carbide. So they have a development in a power technology trends. So in the year of 2025, it almost reaches its development towards the development of a power density sector, and also in a carbon materials, that is silicon carbide material, SBD DC to DC. So a lot of developments also there in a material. Then while developing a charging station, ports and three or more ports are required to make a better charging systems. So in order to make a one or two more than one ports, it requires a parallel operation of a particular system. Even though the bus is common, we have to make a different AC to DC converter or DC to AC converter to operate a system in a better manner. Here charge port 1, charging port 2 and charging port N. So we can develop a n number of charge, that is porting specifications or porting options through help of semiconductor devices. So starting from a charging station to a developing state, that is from the input side, power converters plays a major role. So charging station with common bus. So if we are developing a charging station with the common bus, so we have to make a central converter. So central converters plays a major role, which has to be connected effectively connected with the communication system for a better power management. Here power management plays a major role because we are using a common port. So this common bus. So we have to monitor all those things. So we have to balance the voltage for all the ports. That is very, very important parameter. And this is the classification DC to DC. So this is a basic things, how to develop a DC to AC and DC to DC converter. I will skip this due to time shortage. So this is a scenario based upon bidirectionality, controllability, reliability, switching frequency, power management, efficiency, and multifunctionality. So it clearly represents, if I take a particular system for an electric vehicle or in a general case, these 8 parameters are very, very important. So a system has to save a component. It means system has to be use a minimum component. So that is component saving and bidirectionality. So normally we are using bidirectional DC to DC converter, bidirectional inverter also nowadays we are using. It means during a regenerative braking, the power has to be transferred from a load to source. So that is bidirectionality and easy controllability. So after the invention of a power semiconductor devices, converter of AC drives are almost equivalent to a DC to, that is a DC drives. It means it has a sophisticated controllability in an AC drive also. Then reliability, the word important. The word it implies that more reliable. So reliability, very, very important. Then switching frequency. If you are developing a power semiconductor devices with some converters, the switching frequency plays a major role, because in certain cases switching frequency makes enormous changes in a power component, power density, space occupation. That is, it makes the entire change in a hardware system also. Then power transfer, that is power from a converter to a SAPT system. So power transfer is also very important. Then almost efficiency and multifunctionality. System should be a multifunctionality. The system should store that is energy to a main battery, that is EV, and also to an auxiliary system. So it should be a multi-direct functionality. It should act as the multi-input, single output, and vice versa process also. So a system, if you are developing an electric vehicle for a particular application, the system has to obey, or it has to satisfy these 8 parameters. These are premier and main important parameters. So this is how an BLDC motor is get operated with a PWM control. So normally Hall effect sensors are connected in a wheel. So based upon a pulse generated, so inverter is power semiconductor devices are get working. So I have mentioned that jet source inverter. So jet source inverter is a combination of boost and an inverter side. So it has a LNC component at the input side. So jet source inverters are operated in 2 modes. If you are doing research in a jet source, we have to take more care about a shoot through or non-shoot through state. So these two are very, very important. So shoot through state in the sense S1 and S4 are get conducted at a time. Non-shoot through state, S1 and S2 are get conducted. Then this is an extended boost jet source inverter for electric vehicle applications. So it has a battery bank and extended boost chopper unit, and also for a H-bridge inverter. So this system can be applicable for a design of an EV. So if anybody is doing research in an inverter side, we can do a research in a jet source inverter based system for an EV system. So here jet source inverter, so extended boost, that is very, very important parameter. So extended boost in the sense, if you are increasing the boost capability, if it is in a single DC to DC converter system, boost functionalities get different. If you are using extended boost, boost control, it's a double boost like that. So there is no need to make a separate DC to DC system. So instead of that, the LNC component will take care and it will make a boost functionality like that. It is a single input, dual output. So if anybody doing research in this area, you can explore a lot of opportunities in an electric vehicle system. Single output, single input, 3 output. So one is for a high voltage, another one is for low voltage, another one is for medium voltage. So we can use it for a lighting load and EV battery system. So then is fuel cell. Fuel cell is an important parameter for an input side to make a hybrid electric vehicle system. So it also requires DC to DC and DC to AC. So here a number of inverters are plays a major role to interconnect or to develop a common DC bus system. So if you make it as a common, that is if you are developing a single input or many output single output system, energy control center is very, very important. So in order to make a proper energy flow, in order to ensure the proper energy flow from input to output and a vice versa process, we have to ensure the system is under control of energy control center. So simply it is called as an energy management system. So it's very, very important. So which all comes under the clusters of electric vehicle. So battery charging, battery discharging, what we are using, what we are visualizing in an IC system like that. So this is the equivalent circuit of the same. This is the overall electric system of a particular electric vehicle. So how a HV battery operated, how low voltage 48-volt batteries get operated, where it is connected, and what are all the requirement of electric drive system, inverters for water pumping system, cooling fan system. So all the system come together along with only with a common DC link bus. So that is the important parameter. If you are going for a high voltage bus, it is also very common. The red line indicates high voltage bus for a EV battery and low voltage bus. So both are get isolated by help of a with the help of a converter. So this equivalent circuit or pictorial representation clearly represent what are all the requirement to develop a EV system as a whole. So three main section. One is 12 volt, another one is 48-volt bus, another one is high voltage bus. So this is another representation. This is the entire scenario in as an electric vehicle. So what are all the system, how on-board charging, how off-board charging charges are developed, a plug-in vehicle is developed, so what are all the requirements like that. So I hope I have skipped the PWM technique to a controller part. So I hope I have covered the scenario and power converters, how we are utilizing, importance, challenges of power converters. I hope I have covered all those things.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can ask a resource person. Uttarasamy sir, you have some queries in the chat box, sir. So there is a question in the chat box. Any ways to improve the efficiency of the converter and the panel?
So to improve efficiency through a modulation technique. So we can improve the efficiency through an optimizing techniques. Now a number of optimizing techniques are now in a developing stage. On the developed stage also, we can after a proper optimizing technique or proper modulation techniques to improve the efficiency through a proper power controller. And also selection of controller also plays a major role for the improvement of efficiency along with the converters. So maybe I hope I have answered for that question. Sir, any more questions?
Oh, sir. How can we reduce charging time for electric vehicle in future?
Charging time can be reduced. That is simply called as a fast charging technology. That is a fast charging through improve a high frequency DC to DC converter. So we can we can transfer that is from slow charging. We can make it as a high frequency DC to DC converter instead of that low frequency. If you're increasing a frequency of a DC to DC converter, automatically the technologies get changed from slow to fast, but we have to make the utmost care in a safety requirement, heat dissipation. So these are all the important challenges in that converter system.
So one more question. Frequency of inverter operation in wireless charging.
Frequency of inverter, normally if you take as a wireless charging, frequency is very high. So what we are using in an electromagnetic system or electromagnetic waves in a communication system, so frequency plays a major role. So if you want to transfer a power, the frequency of wave should be very high in terms of megahertz. But here the distance is very less, not in an air medium. So in terms of centimeter, we are using like what Tesla, what they are doing. So the distance is very less, the frequency we have to increase. Then only we can make an efficient power transfer from a source to load.
So maximum torque per weight of EV motor.
Maximum torques, that depends upon a size of motor what we are using. What depends upon a size of a framework. So from a two-wheeler, it has one torque. So if you go for a four-wheeler, so that depends upon a framework of a particular EV system. So I hope I answered for this question. Ravikumar sir, any more questions?
No, sir. That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you.
At this juncture, I would like to thank you for this wonderful session on behalf of the organizing team as well as the management and the department of KPR IET. We really thank you for this wonderful and nice sharing on DC-DC converters, sir. Thank you for this session, sir. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.